Article 305 of the National Electrical Code addresses temporary electrical installations. Section 305.2c2 states that temporary wiring shall not be attached to building surfaces or suspended by building structural components. However, there is an exception stating where necessary for safety, cables and conductors shall be supported in a substantial and secure manner. Section 305.10b2 describes that suitable festoons or other means shall be installed for distribution of temporary power, and suitable cables or conductors shall be employed. Article 400 covers flexible cords and cables. Section 400.10 defines triplex as a cable containing 3 single insulated conductors laid parallel and twisted or spiraled together. Section 400.11 states that triplex cables are not approved for use as service entrance cables but are permitted for use under the following conditions: firstly, in suitable raceways, meaning not exposed; secondly, in outdoor pole lines; thirdly, in aerial cables; fourthly, as bus drops for outdoor substation equipment; fifthly, for direct burial if sunlight resistant and cold weather resistant. Based on these National Electrical Code provisions, triplex wire is not explicitly permitted for use in temporary installations on construction sites. However, there is some flexibility in the code language, particularly regarding the use of suitable cables and conductors and the exception to Article 305.2c2. Let's examine arguments for using triplex wire in temporary installations. 1. Triplex wire is robust and can withstand the physical abuse encountered on construction sites. 2. It can be used as a festoon for distributing temporary power. 3. It can be supported securely in a manner that meets the exception to Article 305.2c2. Now let's consider arguments against using triplex wire in temporary installations. 1. Triplex wire is not approved for use as service entrance cables. 2. It is not designed for indoor use or direct burial. 3. The use of regular Romex connectors with triplex wire raises concerns about proper connections and safety. While there may be some arguments for using triplex wire in temporary installations on construction sites, the National Electrical Code does not explicitly permit this practice. The use of triplex wire should be carefully considered and should only be done in a manner that meets all applicable National Electrical Code requirements. It is generally recommended to use wiring methods and materials that are specifically approved for temporary installations, such as festoons and cables designed for outdoor use. It's important to understand the specific requirements and limitations outlined in the National Electrical Code to ensure safe and compliant temporary electrical installations. Consulting with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer can provide further clarification and guidance on acceptable practices. The suitability of any wiring method depends on various factors, including the specific application, environmental conditions, and potential hazards. Therefore, a thorough assessment should be conducted before making any decisions regarding the use of triplex wire or other wiring methods in temporary installations. Using wiring methods and materials that are specifically designed and approved for temporary installations can help minimize the risk of electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. These materials often have features such as enhanced insulation, weather resistance, and mechanical protection to withstand the demanding conditions of construction sites. Proper installation techniques are essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of temporary electrical systems. This includes using appropriate connectors, supports, and enclosures to protect the wiring from physical damage and environmental factors. Regular inspections and maintenance are also crucial for identifying and addressing any potential problems before they lead to accidents or equipment failures. Furthermore, it's important to educate workers on the safe use of temporary electrical systems and the potential hazards involved. This includes providing training on proper grounding techniques, lockout/tagout procedures, and the use of personal protective equipment. By taking these precautions, you can create a safer working environment for everyone on the construction site. The National Electrical Code serves as a comprehensive guide for electrical installations, providing detailed requirements for various wiring methods, equipment, and applications. It is essential for electricians, contractors, and other professionals involved in electrical work to be familiar with the relevant provisions of the National Electrical Code and to adhere to them strictly. Staying up to date with the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and any local amendments is crucial for ensuring compliance and safety. Attending training courses and seminars on electrical codes and standards can help professionals enhance their knowledge and skills in this area. In addition to the National Electrical Code, other industry standards and best practices may provide further guidance on safe electrical installations. These resources can offer valuable insights into specific applications and help you make informed decisions about the selection and installation of electrical equipment. Remember, safety should always be the top priority when working with electricity. By following the National Electrical Code, industry standards, and best practices, you can minimize the risk of accidents and ensure the safety of yourself and others. Consider the specific environmental conditions of the construction site when selecting wiring methods and materials for temporary installations. Factors such as temperature, humidity, and exposure to sunlight or chemicals can affect the performance and lifespan of electrical equipment. Choose materials that are suitable for the intended environment and that can withstand the potential hazards present. Ensure that all electrical equipment used in temporary installations is properly grounded to prevent electrical shock. Grounding provides a low resistance path for fault currents to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker or fuse and de-energizing the circuit. Use ground fault circuit interrupters, also known as GFCIs, in areas where there is a risk of electrical shock, such as wet locations or areas where workers may be in contact with conductive surfaces. GFCIs are designed to detect even small leakage currents and quickly interrupt the circuit, preventing serious injury or death. Implement a lockout/tagout program to prevent accidental energization of electrical equipment during maintenance or repair work. Lockout/tagout procedures involve disconnecting the power source and placing a lock and tag on the disconnect switch to indicate that the equipment is out of service. Regularly inspect temporary electrical installations for any signs of damage or wear. Look for frayed or damaged wires, loose connections, and cracked or broken insulation. Repair or replace any damaged equipment immediately to prevent potential hazards. Use appropriate signage to warn workers of potential electrical hazards. Post signs near temporary electrical panels, transformers, and other equipment to alert workers to the presence of electricity and the need for caution. Provide adequate lighting in work areas to ensure that workers can see clearly and avoid tripping hazards. Poor lighting can increase the risk of accidents and injuries. Keep temporary electrical installations organized and free from clutter. Avoid running wires across walkways or in areas where they could be damaged by equipment or foot traffic. Use cable trays or other supports to keep wires off the ground and out of the way. Train workers in the proper use of extension cords and portable electrical equipment. Emphasize the importance of using cords and equipment that are in good condition and that are rated for the intended use. Prohibit the use of damaged or frayed cords, and ensure that all equipment is properly grounded. Follow all applicable local and national electrical codes and regulations when designing, installing, and maintaining temporary electrical installations. These codes and regulations are designed to protect workers and the public from electrical hazards. Consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer if you have any questions or concerns about the safety of temporary electrical installations. They can provide expert guidance and help you ensure that your installations are compliant and safe. Remember, electricity is a powerful force that can be dangerous if not handled properly. By taking the necessary precautions and following the recommendations outlined above, you can minimize the risk of accidents and injuries and create a safer working environment for everyone on the construction site. Staying informed about the latest electrical safety practices and technologies is essential for maintaining a safe work environment. Attend industry conferences, read trade publications, and participate in online forums to stay up to date on the latest developments in electrical safety. Encourage a culture of safety on the construction site by promoting open communication and collaboration among workers, supervisors, and safety professionals. Encourage workers to report any potential hazards or concerns, and take prompt action to address them. Regularly review and update your safety procedures to ensure that they are effective and relevant. Conduct periodic safety audits to identify any areas where improvements can be made. By continuously striving to improve your safety practices, you can create a safer and more productive work environment for everyone. Temporary electrical installations are subject to unique challenges and hazards due to their temporary nature and exposure to construction site conditions. Therefore, it's crucial to implement a comprehensive safety program that addresses these specific risks. This program should include regular inspections, maintenance, training, and the use of appropriate safety equipment. It should also be tailored to the specific conditions of the construction site and the types of electrical equipment being used. Effective communication is essential for ensuring the safety of temporary electrical installations. Make sure that all workers are aware of the potential hazards and the safety procedures that must be followed. Use clear and concise language when communicating safety information, and provide training in multiple languages if necessary. Encourage workers to ask questions if they are unsure about anything. Proper planning is essential for the safe installation and operation of temporary electrical systems. Before starting any work, conduct a thorough assessment of the site to identify potential hazards and determine the best way to route and protect the wiring. Develop a detailed plan that outlines the steps involved in the installation process and ensure that all workers are familiar with the plan. Use high-quality materials and equipment that are designed for temporary installations. Avoid using substandard or damaged materials, as these can increase the risk of electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. Choose materials that are suitable for the intended environment and that can withstand the potential hazards present. Inspect all materials and equipment before use to ensure that they are in good condition. Ensure that all temporary electrical equipment is properly labeled and identified. This includes labeling panels, disconnects, and other equipment with their voltage, amperage, and function. Use color-coded wiring to identify different circuits and voltage levels. This can help prevent accidental contact with energized parts and make it easier to troubleshoot problems. Protect temporary wiring from physical damage by using conduit, cable trays, or other protective measures. Avoid running wires across walkways or in areas where they could be damaged by equipment or foot traffic. Secure wiring to prevent it from becoming tangled or creating tripping hazards. Use weatherproof enclosures for electrical equipment that is exposed to the elements. This will protect the equipment from moisture, dust, and other contaminants that could cause it to malfunction or create a safety hazard. Make sure that the enclosures are properly sealed to prevent water from entering. Provide adequate ventilation for electrical equipment that generates heat. Overheating can cause equipment to malfunction or fail, and it can also create a fire hazard. Ensure that there is sufficient airflow around the equipment to dissipate heat. Install temporary lighting to provide adequate illumination in work areas. Poor lighting can increase the risk of accidents and injuries. Use lighting fixtures that are designed for temporary use and that are protected from damage. Provide emergency lighting in case of a power outage. This will help workers evacuate the area safely in the event of an emergency. Test temporary electrical installations regularly to ensure that they are functioning properly. Use a multimeter to check voltage, current, and continuity. Inspect wiring and equipment for any signs of damage or wear. Address any problems immediately. Document all inspections, tests, and repairs. This will help you track the condition of the temporary electrical installations and identify any recurring problems. Keep records in a safe place where they can be easily accessed. Establish a clear chain of command for managing temporary electrical installations. Assign responsibility for the installation, maintenance, and inspection of the equipment to qualified personnel. Ensure that all workers know who to contact if they have any questions or concerns. Conduct regular safety meetings to discuss temporary electrical installations and other safety topics. Use these meetings to reinforce safety procedures, address any concerns, and provide updates on the latest safety practices. Encourage workers to participate actively in these meetings. Remember, the safety of temporary electrical installations is everyone's responsibility. By working together, you can create a safer and more productive work environment for all. In the specific context of construction sites in Pennsylvania, it's important to be aware of any local regulations or requirements that may supplement the National Electrical Code. Pennsylvania may have specific amendments or interpretations of the National Electrical Code that are relevant to temporary electrical installations. Check with local authorities to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. The Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry may have specific safety requirements for construction sites, including those related to temporary electrical installations. Familiarize yourself with these requirements and ensure that your safety program complies with them. Utility companies in Pennsylvania may have specific requirements for connecting temporary electrical services to the grid. Contact the utility company to obtain information on their requirements and procedures. Trade associations and professional organizations in Pennsylvania may offer training and resources on electrical safety. Consider joining these organizations to stay informed about the latest developments and best practices. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also known as OSHA, has jurisdiction over workplace safety in Pennsylvania. Be aware of OSHA's regulations and enforcement policies regarding temporary electrical installations. OSHA may conduct inspections of construction sites to ensure compliance with safety standards. The Pennsylvania Workers' Compensation Act provides benefits to workers who are injured on the job. Ensure that your workers' compensation insurance coverage is adequate to cover any potential injuries related to temporary electrical installations. The Pennsylvania Construction Code Act establishes minimum standards for the design and construction of buildings in Pennsylvania. Be aware of any provisions of the Construction Code Act that are relevant to temporary electrical installations. The Pennsylvania Uniform Construction Code, also known as the UCC, incorporates the International Building Code and the International Residential Code. Familiarize yourself with the provisions of the UCC that are relevant to temporary electrical installations. The Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection may have regulations regarding the disposal of waste materials from temporary electrical installations. Dispose of waste materials properly to avoid environmental contamination. The Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission may have requirements for protecting historical resources during construction projects. Be aware of any potential impacts of temporary electrical installations on historical resources. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation may have requirements for temporary electrical installations that are located near roadways or bridges. Coordinate with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation to ensure compliance with their requirements. The Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency may have plans for responding to emergencies that could affect temporary electrical installations. Be aware of these plans and procedures. The Pennsylvania State Police may have jurisdiction over certain aspects of construction site safety. Cooperate with the Pennsylvania State Police in any investigations or enforcement actions. The Pennsylvania National Guard may be called upon to assist in emergency situations that involve temporary electrical installations. Be prepared to coordinate with the Pennsylvania National Guard if necessary. The Pennsylvania General Assembly may pass legislation that affects temporary electrical installations. Stay informed about legislative developments that could impact your operations. The Governor of Pennsylvania may issue executive orders that affect temporary electrical installations. Be aware of any executive orders that are relevant to your operations. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court may issue rulings that affect temporary electrical installations. Stay informed about legal developments that could impact your operations. The Attorney General of Pennsylvania may investigate and prosecute violations of electrical safety laws. Cooperate with the Attorney General's office in any investigations or enforcement actions. The Auditor General of Pennsylvania may conduct audits of government-funded construction projects. Be prepared to provide documentation to the Auditor General's office upon request. The Treasurer of Pennsylvania may have custody of funds related to construction projects. Comply with the Treasurer's office's requirements for managing these funds. The Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania may serve as a member of boards and commissions that oversee construction projects. Be aware of the Lieutenant Governor's role in these matters. The Secretary of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is responsible for administering elections and maintaining records. Comply with the Secretary of the Commonwealth requirements for voter registration and record keeping. The Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development may offer incentives for construction projects. Explore these incentives to reduce your project costs. The Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources may have regulations regarding the protection of natural resources during construction projects. Comply with these regulations to minimize environmental impacts. The Pennsylvania Department of Education may offer training programs for electricians and other construction workers. Encourage your workers to participate in these programs to enhance their skills and knowledge. The Pennsylvania Department of Health may have regulations regarding the health and safety of construction workers. Comply with these regulations to protect the health of your workers. The Pennsylvania Department of Human Services may offer assistance to construction workers who are struggling with substance abuse or mental health issues. Provide resources to your workers to help them access these services. The Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veterans Affairs may offer assistance to veterans who are working in the construction industry. Provide support to your veteran employees. The Pennsylvania Department of Revenue may have tax incentives for construction projects. Explore these incentives to reduce your tax burden. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation may offer grants for transportation projects related to construction sites. Apply for these grants to improve transportation infrastructure. The Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission regulates utilities in Pennsylvania. Comply with the Public Utility Commission's regulations regarding temporary electrical services. The Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education may offer training programs for electricians and other construction workers. Encourage your workers to participate in these programs to enhance their skills and knowledge. The Pennsylvania Association of Realtors may have resources for construction professionals. Join the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors to network with other professionals and stay informed about industry trends. The Pennsylvania Builders Association may offer training and resources for construction professionals. Join the Pennsylvania Builders Association to network with other professionals and stay informed about industry trends. The Pennsylvania Society of Professional Engineers may offer training and resources for engineers who work on construction projects. Join the Pennsylvania Society of Professional Engineers to network with other professionals and stay informed about industry trends. The Pennsylvania Bar Association may offer legal resources for construction professionals. Consult with a lawyer who specializes in construction law to ensure that your projects comply with all applicable laws and regulations. The Pennsylvania Chamber of Business and Industry may offer resources for businesses that operate in Pennsylvania. Join the Pennsylvania Chamber of Business and Industry to network with other businesses and stay informed about economic developments in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association may offer resources for manufacturers in Pennsylvania. Join the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association to network with other manufacturers and stay informed about manufacturing trends in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Food Merchants Association may offer resources for food merchants in Pennsylvania. Join the Pennsylvania Food Merchants Association to network with other food merchants and stay informed about food industry trends in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Retailers Association may offer resources for retailers in Pennsylvania. Join the Pennsylvania Retailers Association to network with other retailers and stay informed about retail trends in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Restaurant and Lodging Association may offer resources for restaurants and lodging establishments in Pennsylvania. Join the Pennsylvania Restaurant and Lodging Association to network with other restaurant and lodging professionals and stay informed about industry trends in Pennsylvania. By staying informed about these various resources and regulations, you can ensure that your temporary electrical installations in Pennsylvania are safe, compliant, and efficient.